Uttita, present. Yadi, if. Bha, light. Sadrishi, like that. Sa, that. Syat, might be. Bhasaha, effulgence. Tasya, of him. Maha Atmanaha, the great Lord. In the sky of suns of many thousands, there was simultaneously present, if light like that, that might be effulgence of him, the great Lord. Translation of Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. Prabhupada Ki Jai. What Arjun saw was indescribable. Yet Sanjay is trying to give a mental picture of that great revelation to Dhritarashtra. Neither Sanjay nor Dhritarashtra was present, but Sanjay, by the grace of Vyas, could see whatever happened. Thus he now compares the situation, as far as it can be understood, to an imaginable phenomenon, i.e., thousands of suns. So what I understood from this verse is that this actually was an indescribable phenomenon that was happening with Lord Krishna in his universal form. And yet Sanjaya is explaining to Dhritarashtra, but is also explaining to all of us what he is seeing, what he has got the vision to see. And very interestingly, this universal form was happening in the middle of the battlefield, was being shown in the middle of the battlefield, but only Arjuna could see what was happening. No one else could see anything, which is very, very mystical, very mystical. And here the comparison is given to hundreds of thousands of suns. Now, obviously, we cannot even imagine what that would look like in that radiance. So that gives a bit of an idea, or that gives an idea of the radiance in that universal form of Lord Krishna. And again, that proves that we can only we cannot speculate, because it is outside of our ability and outside of our limited perception. And this is basically what Sanjaya has said, that this is incomprehensible, the effulgence. So that's why it's very, very important to stick to the scriptures. And this is very, very now 5,000 years later, this information, this knowledge has been passed down, and thanks to Srila Prabhupada, it has been passed down. But even back then, we had Sanjaya narrating, and this information was also would have been given then too. So it's very, very important how this has been recorded, and that today we're able to sit and study with it being completely uncontaminated. So this is very transcendental. This this work of Bhagavad Gita done by Srila Prabhupada, it's a very, very transcendental work, completely as it is. And it's very I guess very, very important that it continues to remain in that way, that this knowledge that Srila Prabhupada has given us, we should take and we should study as it's been given. So it's this whole chapter is very, very interesting, of the universal form, because a lot of it is quite incomprehensible, very incomprehensible to with material eyes, or with material experience. But in context of everything, we start to understand how it came about, and how we can understand this universal form, and how even people at that time could not understand. So these are very nice verses, and this Bhagavad chapter 11 verse 12 is no different. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving us this platform to share our realizations. And thank you, Krishna Samarpar Krishna Prabhuji, for giving your nice realizations. So, this verse today. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavedyugpad Uttita Yadi Bhavah Sadrishi Sa Syad Bhasastasya Mahatmana. If hundreds, thousands of suns rose up at once into the sky, they might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. So, as we are discussing this chapter, which is universal form of the law, and we see that in the previous verses how Arjun has already what Arjun is saying, and Sanjay is describing to Dhritarashtra that there are various lots and lots of unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, and everything is so wondrous, and different kind of things he is describing, that this universal form is garlanded gloriously, and there are scents and scents smeared all over his body, all magnificent, all expanding and unlimited. And then same verse, same continue in the continuation, he's describing here that so what happens here, that he is, when he sees the universal form of Krishna, and this is so effulgent, and Sanjay is just, he can't, he doesn't know how to describe this form, because as a human beings we are very limited. And then he tries to give some mental picture of that great revelation, because he can perceive it but he can't describe it. And then he tries to give some simile with thousands, hundreds and thousands of suns which can rise in the sky at the same time. That kind of effulgence this universal form of Krishna has. And it's indescribable as Arjuna saw it. And also because of our little human brains, we can't even fathom what it should have been. We can just imagine, but we can't reach beyond, near that. And as we know that we are very limited in every capacity, and even if all manifested world is combined, still we are like speck of dust in front of Krishna's magnanimity. Just like the verse was there, Prithvi Renu Anupayansi Kanika Halgu Spurangu Lagus, that everything, the earth is like a speck of dust. All the water of the oceans are just like small droplets. So that is the position of us. So Sanjay is trying to give glimpse of whatever he is seeing here, but in the very limited capacity, although he has been given divine eyes. So as we can see that we are very limited, but when there is mercy of the Guru and if there is full surrender, then maybe we can start seeing Krishna's Swarup little by little. We start understanding. It's very important that we surrender unto our Guru Maharaj, and we can get his mercy, so that we start understanding all these spiritual matters. Krishna is described as sun. Krishna has Surya Sam, Maya hai Andhakar, jahan Krishna tahar nahi Maya Andhakar. And if we describe him as one sun, then we can imagine how hundreds and thousands of suns, how much effulgence they can produce. And we can't even imagine that effulgence. So we also notice here that Dhritarashtra, who is blind, who is also representing people who are very much attached to their material things. And then even though devotees, Vaishnavas, they try to explain Krishna's position, Krishna, who is Krishna, and what is our relationship with him, but they are like blind Dhritarashtra. They don't want to listen at all. They just ignore. And if that much effulgence, that much radiance is there, then obviously they might get blinded again by the magnanimity of Krishna's effulgence. So although many times it happens that we know many things, we know spiritual, we do get some here and there spiritual knowledge, but the other thing is we don't want to practice in our life, and that way we are basically blind. We don't want to look at it. So that's my realization for this verse. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much, Krishna Smarpan, Krishna Prabhu and Mataji, for your nice realization. This is a very nice verse, and but I have a little realization on this verse. Hare Krishna. Bhavapyaya yuhi bhutanam Shrutau vishtara shomaya Tattah kamlapata patraksha Mahatmayam api shavyayam. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories. So from this verse, I realize that although Krishna is the source of all the appearance and disappearance of all living beings, Krishna is untainted by our imperfections. Although Krishna is the supreme controller, Krishna
Hare
is
Krishna Mataji.
yes,
I think these are
Prabhuji.
different words. We are discussing 11, 12 today.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
We are discussing verse 12 today. Which verse are you reading?
11 point. Oh, sorry, Prabhuji.
Did you prepare a different verse today?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Yeah.
I prepared 11.2 again, Prabhuji.
Sorry, 11 point?
11.2, Prabhuji.
2. Oh,
Yes.
that is far back. We
No,
discussed
I
it
think I
long
just
ago.
missed out about. Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji. I just leave it then because I didn't read that one then. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Should I continue with this or should I leave it, Prabhuji?
No. We are discussing, that was discussed already. You can refer to our recorded message. So leave it then. If you're not prepared for 12, leave it.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your nice realizations today. And very correctly, both of you, Krishna Shobha, Krishna Saraswati Mataji, have given your realizations. As Prabhupada explains in the purport that it is very difficult to explain Krishna's opulences. It's impossible to explain because nobody can see Krishna's opulence. Is my voice audible to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So when we are trying to approach Krishna, we have to bear that in mind. See? I remember Maharaj had given this realization and instruction that are we ready for Krishna? That was a theme. No? The Maharaj said, are we ready for Krishna? In that, are we ready for Krishna? Maharaj said that if Krishna would have to come today in front of us, would we be ready for him to accept him? Maharaj said, well, I would run away seeing Krishna's opulence. And quite true, actually. We all are wanting to love Krishna, approach Krishna. But these are the verses which will make us cautious of how to approach Krishna. He looks like us, he talks like us. Actually, we have made ourselves look like him and talk like him. And for our satisfaction and pleasure, we watch his movies, watch his television serials. Actually, if you go to see, it is Krishna's opulences that we are missing out on. Because even in the television series and the movies, we try and show and depict those opulences according to our limited capacity and understanding. That is the reason why Srila Prabhupada writes here that excuse me, Sanjaya tried his best to explain this. As far as it could be, thus he now compares the situation of how he looked with thousands of suns rising together, as far as it can be understood, to an imaginable phenomenon. There is thousands of suns. He could not explain that. That is the reason why he said, well, I think what all the sons, if they rose together, this is what he would look like. And this is how he explained to Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra can understand. Otherwise, how will he understand? He will not understand. So one who wants the kingdom is Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra. And he wanted only one kingdom. Whereas if you get a chance, you want everything. You see, in the name of devotional service, in the garb of devotional service, we want to do our material activities. Maharaj is like yesterday's instruction. Yesterday's instruction or today's instruction? Who knows this? In the calendar? Who read the calendar? Anybody reads the calendar every day? I understand
Yes,
Sridhar
Prabhuji.
who is traveling. So when was this? Now somebody is reading now. Was it yesterday? Or yes, or today?
That's today's one, Prabhuji.
What is it?
23rd. We should behave in such a manner that
No.
Krishna should be.
No. That Krishna is willing to come to us. Yeah? Read it.
We should behave in such a manner that Krishna should be willing to come to us. But most of the time, we behave in a manner that Krishna wants to depart.
Depart. Yes, that's right. That was today. And what was yesterday?
Please don't use bhakti to satisfy your senses. Don't hide your agenda under bhakti.
Yes.
We use bhakti to carry out our material plan. This is the embarrassment.
This is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. We don't see it, but when we are doing it, we don't see it. But people around us know what is the real agenda. Then you are situated very nicely. Maharaj would always say this. You're situated very nicely. You're doing your bhakti is going on. Some money is coming here, there. Things are running smoothly. But this unsatisfied mind and unsatisfied greed will always find ways to make you stand up from what you are. Maharaj said this. To make you stand up from this program and walk away from this program. So there's some khichdi is there, some simple lifestyle is there, bhakti is going on. We don't want it. See? We are not ready for Krishna. That's what Maharaj says. We are not ready for Krishna. If we're ready for Krishna, then we give up everything for Krishna. And that stands for me. This for me. You see, this leaders program is meant for this seriousness. We don't say such things in the beginners program or intermediate program. Only leaders program. Because at this level, we have already reached certain levels of understanding and detachment. Should be there. We cannot destroy things in the name of material progress. Trying to do devotional service and fit devotional service into it. We can do it till the time we have got family and we are doing things. It's understandable. If children are young, it's fine. But when they are older, we should not. We'll be very, very careful with these things. Please. These are things that opulence of Krishna teaches us. Because we don't trust Krishna's opulence. We want to become opulent ourselves. And if Krishna wants, he'll make everyone opulent. You see, this is the point to be understood. Srila Prabhupada is a perfect example of it in front of us. As a sannyasi, he had so many 200 temples around the world. He didn't own anything. Same thing with Guru Maharaj also. Without asking for money from anybody, Maharaj made all this. Rajkot Temple, Yatra, Dwarka Yatra. The others can do whatever they want to do now, continue their thing. That's up to them. But we are in that capsule, time capsule. Maharaj says, don't become beggar for Krishna. Why should I become beggar for Krishna? So these are the points to be understood. The opulence of Krishna means we should be ready for Krishna. And very correctly, realizations have come today by devotees. I just wanted to reinforce this point, nothing else. So these are the opulences and statements which helps us to understand that even Arjuna, in front of Krishna is bewildered. He could not describe. That's the reason why the description is given by Vyasdev talks about Sanjaya to describe it. Hundreds and thousands of suns come up to him. These effulgence. And these effulgence, there are unlimited living beings same. His effulgence is made up of small atomic spirit souls. Just like the sun rays are made up of small molecules, which produces vitamin D, and which carries the ether, sound. So there is no space. Space is full. We think there is space. We say space between us. There's space between me and the sofa in front of me. Actually, there is no space. It's full of small molecules which carry this sound vibration. And this sound vibration, that's why it is important. That even if nobody is listening, you speak to yourself. The walls will listen. And so wall, you will listen. Because every sound moves around the world 7 times. Every sound. You see? These are all opulences of Krishna. So we cannot imagine how the opulences are working for Krishna. See? Because we are limited to the material body. Even in spiritual body, we won't be able to fathom what he is. That's why we rebel against him. Huh? Okay. So I just thought I'd just add this point here. Very nice. So anyone wants to say anything or clarify anything from any of the speakers, please feel free. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. All right then. Thank you very much. Srimad Gurudev, Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. Granth Sahib Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srimad Gurudev ki jai. What words synonyms, translations and purpose of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.